to Access All Areas if you've just joined me. And my very special guest, Sydney-based Roland Hanekroot, is a director of New Perspectives Business Coaching, and he offers small business owners a thoroughly modern, holistic route to success in today's world. He guides many of Sydney's most successful small business entrepreneurs to sustainable business success. That is absolutely fun. It is with great pleasure to introduce you to Roland Hanekroot. Hi, Roland, and welcome to Inner FM.
Good evening. Lovely to be here.
Good. Sorry about the little mix-up earlier.
Oh, that's all good.
And have I pronounced your name correctly?
Pretty close.
Pretty close? How would
Hanekroot. Yeah, Hanekroot.
Oh, Hanekroot. Excellent. Okay,
Yes.
First of all, would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about your background, please, such as what was your first job?
My first job, it was a long time ago. Look, I'm Dutch, so I came here in 1984. So I used to be a journalist in Holland. That's what my training was originally. But I left that and came to Australia and started working on boats. Actually, I was a shipwright, boat builder, shipwright here on Sydney Harbour, and started running my own business in that, and soon found out that it takes a lot more than being good with a hammer and chisel to build a good business. That didn't go very well at all, and I really didn't know anything about business in those days. So this was 1984, 1985, and so then I moved into carpentry and carpentry and building, and then I started a building company here in Sydney, and grew and developed that for the next sort of 20 years or just under, and renovating old houses in the inner city areas, and it became quite a it was still a smallish, SME kind of builder, but it was successful and really good. We did some really interesting stuff, but then I had enough of it and I sold the business to a junior partner in 2003, and got out of building and started on the journey of becoming a business coach and mentor. In that time, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Right. Roughly what year was that you started?
Business coaching?
Yes.
Yeah, so 2004. I sold the business. I sold the building business in 2003. Took half a year off, and then started on this route that I'm on now. I just did a lot of training and studying and coaching and counselling and therapy and related stuff, and a lot of further study in business management theory, and started building this up, combining this into this thing that I do now, which I call business coaching and mentoring.
Yeah, fantastic. Can you explain your holistic route to success in today's world?
Yeah, holistic, yeah. A lot of people run screaming for the hills when you mention the word holistic, but I just mean that I think it's that we are underdoing ourselves. We're not doing ourselves a favour by focusing on nothing else but money, and I think we also do ourselves a disservice if we try and separate the business from ourselves. If we try and think of the business as a completely separate entity from who we are, I believe that a business is what it is at any one time because of who you, the owner, are at any one time. Your business is what it is because of who you are, and so, and not what you are, but who you are, and so it's incredibly important to look at the whole of you.
Yeah.
In other words, if you want your business to be something different, you cannot think that that's going to happen in isolation of who you are. Right. So that's probably the closest I can come to answering that.
For sure. And what would you say to small business owners who may think owning your own business is too hard and not a lot of fun, if anything?
Look, I think small business is a fantastic place to be. Ever since I came to Australia in 1984, I've effectively been in small business one way or another. I haven't really worked for anybody else ever since, so I'd find it hard to do anything else, and I can't picture myself doing anything else than being my own, running my own show. But of course, it's not all beer and skittles. It's not always a life of Riley. Quite the opposite. I would say absolutely go for it, but but make sure you do it. It's about something that you're passionate about. Don't think that you're gonna do this because you have an easy life. You want to have an easy life. Running your own business is not an easy life. It's a good life. It's a powerful life, and I think there's nothing more important for a good life than to have a sense of control of your life. Right. And so, by starting your own business, you will be able to. You'll have the opportunity to take control of your life far more than you ever will when you're working in a job.
Right, and you want to be passionate about it too, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, it's really important to be passionate about it, because you wouldn't be able. You won't keep it up.
Yeah. Exactly.
You won't keep up the energy
longevity
for it. It's you need to. Yeah, but yes, absolutely.
Right. And what are the benefits of owning your own business as fun, as opposed to focusing too hard on the dollar?
Well, see, the thing is, the reason I talk about fun, so I've written a book called written a few books. The last book I wrote is called The 10 Truths for Making Business Fun.
Yes, and we have some exciting news after 2 about
yes,
that,
exactly.
don't we? But we'll get to that, yeah.
But yeah, so, and the reason I talk about fun,
I'm always
The 10
up for
Truths
that.
for Making Business Fun, is because fun is a few things. Fun means a few things. First of all, if your business is fun, truly fun, it means that everything is working. If your business is fun, it means that you're making money. It means that your customers love you. It means that your staff are fully engaged and doing good stuff. It means that you're proud of the stuff your business produces in whatever form it is. And it means that you have created some level of balance, whatever that means for you. And so, by focusing on fun, you actually cover all the other things that you might want to focus on. But by focusing on money only, you will only ever make money and not necessarily create all the other stuff. And it's like this thing. What you measure is where your energy goes. What you measure is what your outcome will be. And so, if the highest measurement you take is money, then you'll never achieve any more than money.
Right.
But if you say that money is one of the drivers towards a higher outcome, and I call that fun in business, then it gives you the opportunity to achieve so much more. And make it so much more personal. Focusing on money only leads to McDonaldization of business. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with McDonald's. Whether or not you like the burgers is irrelevant. But if that's what you like, if that's what you want to build, you want to build a McDonald's. Well, that's fantastic. Go for it. But not everybody in the world will want to make a McDonald's. I won't want to make a McDonald's, and maybe you won't either. And so if all you do is measure money, then the logical conclusion of that is that you must turn your business into a quasi McDonald's, because that's the most efficient way to make money. It may not be the most efficient way to have engaged staff and happy customers and all other kinds of things, and pride in your output and balance in life. But it is the most efficient way of making money. And so by focusing on money, that's all you're going to get. But if you focus on something else, then it suddenly creates room to create all kinds of other kinds of businesses. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
or am I just
sure.
rambling here?
No, not at all. That's no, exactly. No, it's fantastic. Now, Roland, you say starting your own business is much to do with personal growth as it does to do with personal wealth. How so? Or have you pretty much answered that, I suppose?
Well,
in a way?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to answer that, but I actually started saying something about that in the beginning when you were asking me about that that holistic approach. It's your business and you are one and the same thing. They're not one and the same thing, but it's hard to know where one stops and the other one starts.
Oh.
They're interwoven. Interlace your fingers of your two hands with each other, and it's hard to know which, what starts and finishes where. And it's the same with your business. And so your business is. What your business is a direct consequence of who you are. And so, as I said before, if you want your business to be something different, it's got to start with you. And what I say about that sometimes is that if you want, and I apply it to business, and you could just as easily apply it to anything else in life. But if you want, if you want something you've never had before, it means you first have to be someone you've never been before. You've got to be someone first before you have. It's be to have. Right. So if you want to change, you have to start by changing yourself. It's you yourself who has to change before anything else can ever change. And so if you're on a journey to create a different business, it's actually a journey about creating a different you to start with. It sounds. I don't know if that sounds woo-woo like. It's actually not. It's actually really hard-nosed business stuff, as far as I'm concerned. But it is absolutely. There's no way that you can have a business that's different than the one that you have today, and you think that you can do that without it changing and affecting you. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, sure. And do you think it's a great time now to set up one's own business, like more now than ever, or? I think now is a great time, but I think yesterday was a great time as well, and I think possibly tomorrow will be a great time as well. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's if you're ready for it, I think it's always a great time. As I said, it's not going to be beer and Skittles. It's generally hard work, and it'll be frustrating, and there'll be all sorts of roadblocks and all that kind of stuff. But it's incredibly rewarding. It can be incredibly rewarding if you keep focusing on that concept of fun or whatever. You can use other words to describe the same thing. If you're only ever going to measure your success in business by money, then if whether or not you make money is the determination of whether you're a success in it, then a lot of people starting a business are going to get very frustrated, because a lot of small business owners won't end up making a lot of money. But that doesn't mean that the business is not necessarily a success. Sure, if your business fails, it's a different matter. But there's lots of different ways of measuring what the successful outcome is. So I believe I have a very successful business, but that's because I have a flexibility and a quality of life that's amazing. Can I make more money? Yeah, if I built my business into something different, I could make an awful lot more money, but I'd be working a lot harder, and I wouldn't have the same level of balance in my life that I have. So that's why I'm saying, if you just make money your only focus, it's going to be very limited. It's very limiting in your personal growth and development. And so, which is not to say I don't want people to think that I'm the business coach that says that you can build a business without making money. That's not true. That's not at all true. You have to make money in a business, otherwise it can't survive. But it's not the prime purpose of the business. Okay. Now, do you have any any advice for business owners who are overwhelmed and the outcome being less productive or effective?
That's the other reason that I talk about fun in business, because fun is the opposite of overwhelm. Yeah. So if you're in overwhelm, which a lot of business owners are, it's difficult. You can't be having fun. And if you're having fun, you're not in overwhelm. And so this is one of the reasons that I keep asking people, how much fun are you having, and how can we have a little bit more fun next week? Right. And that's the key question. There's a key question, and then there's a key, and there's two keys to it. One is to ask this question: how can I have a little bit more fun tomorrow, next week, than I'm having today? Not how can life suddenly be amazing? How can I just have a little bit more fun? Yeah. It's all about small steps. So that's one.
Gradual.
But the second is the time. You need to give yourself time. It's a paradox of overwhelm is that we think that that we're in overwhelm, and that to fix it we have to work harder and faster and longer, and that's actually that actually increases the problem, or makes the problem worse. It's sometimes the paradox is if you've got a lot to do, if you have a lot to do, the best thing to do is to go for a walk around the block for half an hour. And because when you do that, you'll be able to be much more effective and efficient, and you'll be able to make better decisions about what you do. Because the more your brain's in overwhelm, and I don't want to pretend that I'm a neuroscientist, but I've certainly seen this in myself and with others, and it seems like there's a lot of literature that supports this at the moment. But if your brain's in overwhelm, it simply means it becomes less and less effective, and the harder you work, the harder you push, the longer you work, the more the brain will actually go into overwhelm, and the less effective it becomes. So the whole problem, you make the problem worse. And so by actually going and sitting in the park for 15 minutes, you'll actually allow your brain to become and thereby step out of overwhelm. And so if you do that, combined with the question, how can I have a little bit more fun tomorrow, given that life is difficult and I've got a lot to do, and the sun's not suddenly going to come out just because I'm sitting on a bench. But given that life is as it is, what is one tiny little thing I can do that is going to make business, life, whatever, a little bit more fun tomorrow than it is today? And those are the two keys to getting out of overwhelm.
Okay, that's good. That's handy, actually, because I must admit I have found myself a little bit overwhelmed recently. But I'll remember some.
A lot of us do from time to time, and it's. And we have this innate need to think that we're going to fix this by pushing harder and harder, and it actually is exactly the opposite of what we need to do sometimes.
I'm so going to keep that in mind. Now, you have an exciting offer for our listeners.
Yes.
Please share.
Yes. So I've written 3 books, and the third one of those is called The 10 Truths for Making Business Fun and Building a Business that Sustains You for Years to Come. That's the full title. And that's the third in the trilogy, the 10 Truths trilogies, business books for people who don't read business books. And it's available to your listeners for free, completely no obligation whatsoever, as an ebook or an audiobook, directly from my website. All I ask is people give me their first name and their email address in return, and because there's a whole lot of other stuff that comes with the books. There's an enormous amount of articles and webinars and podcasts and tools and resources and surveys and that sort of stuff. But anyway, so that's all free.
That's so generous.
There's a really simple website with a landing page that people can go to, and it is www, of course, then funinbusiness.biz. Funinbusiness.biz, and there's a simple form there, and people are there. All people have to do is put their name and email, and then they get a link to download either the audiobook or the
That's fantastic.
ebook.
Thank you so much for that. Very generous. And I'll also put that on my Facebook page, etc.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so that'd be great. And where can our listeners find you and follow you? Do you have...
well, actually, it's probably easiest if they just they use that same address that we've already got. Otherwise, they'll get different addresses, because that's actually a landing page on my website. So there'll be a home button on their web page, and they can go to the front page of the website and find out more and stuff like that. So if they just use that link, funinbusiness.biz, that'll get them. That'll get people anywhere and connected with me. And of course, my name. I'm all over LinkedIn, Roland Hanekroot, but that's a hard one to spell. So just use Fun in Business. It's easy as anything.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much, Roland, for your time tonight and your wonderful generosity.
Thank you.
I'll take on some of those tips on board. And
Well, download the book yourself.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for that. I'll give it a good old read because I'm starting something myself, really. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so I'll see
Good
how
luck with that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll let you know how I go.
Yeah, please.
So I'd love to chat to you again too. Sorry for the delay in catching you
Good.
tonight.
Yeah,
Bit of a
that's great.
dyslexic moment, and I can't even say it correctly. Thanks a lot, Roland. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, Angela.
Bye.
Speak soon. Bye.
Bye. And that was Roland Hanekroot, a highly experienced business coach and mentor for small business owners. So thanks a lot for that, Roland. You're on Inner FM.
More music with more music variety on 96.5 Inner FM.